My name is Leslie. I'm from Wisconsin.
And Leslie, what brings you to Oklahoma City?
Certification 2 for Faster EFT, happily.
So, what did you think about it?
There's a thinking and a feeling piece about all of this. So what I've always liked is the logic that's underneath it and the simplicity of the whole thing. And what we learned this time was a certain flexibility, which of course when we were in Certification 1 was important to establish more rules, more protocols, and whatever. So now what we're learning is how to weave many healing options right in with that protocol. And that was good for several reasons. One, because you know the whole thing is much larger. And then two, this time we got more practice with each other, which was wonderful. And it really counts. I mean, a video is one thing, and watching Robert do it in front of the class is one thing. But actually bringing our own fears and trepidations with us and tapping on another person made a huge difference. It was wonderful.
So would you recommend level 1 and level 2 training to people
and
interested?
6, 7, 8, 25, whatever it is, yeah, forever. This is a forever thing. This is like getting a tattoo that doesn't hurt. This is like having a freckle that doesn't go away, and you don't want it to go away. And partly because it's there it is. It's a self-maintaining, simple process that we can use to clear out big and little things that either in one fell swoop for some people or little bits over time begins to change things so you feel better about living and you like living more.
That's great.
Yeah. And this is an interesting thing too. I have practiced for a long time after failing at committing suicide a long time ago when I was very young. I mean, in my 20s. That if I was going to stick myself with living, I better learn how to do some things very well. Yeah. So I began to start with my language, and over time, and I'm 67 years old today, it's been a self-teaching thing. But what's happened now with the way that Robert has put together Faster EFT protocols is that he has taken some of the very best that's out there and put it together simply, and that matters, so that we can use it on a regular basis, unself-consciously and very naturally.
Leslie, how did you originally come to Faster EFT?
Through EFT. And EFT, I bought the Gary Craig tapes and used them, I think it was 2007, and then took them over to the owner of the place where my mother was living in assisted living. And we must have met for a year, once a week, and learned all of that. But I frankly found that I didn't use it except internally, and partly because there was more ritual to it. It was more complex. It was harder to get through although I have this, and then bring that up, blah, 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 blah. This is just more direct. Here it is. Whatever nonsense, whatever thing I have told myself, whatever belief that I have, and release and let it go. And so LIG is something that's in my life now, let it go. And that's, again, something the joy of being able to teach somebody to be able to do it so that they're not, for instance, I'm dependent on the therapist, so that, I'll wait until I get to the therapist, or I'll go to the doctor and they'll tell me what's going on. There's no waiting. Help is at hand, and it happens to be at the end of your own arm. Yeah.
That's great. And you have attended now level 1 and level 2
level
training.
2, yep.
And so have seen Robert live?
Yes.
Twice?
Yes.
And what is your impression of Robert G. Smith, the man?
And the word that you used is the most important one right now, that he is a man. And what I see as he's teaching is the balance that he himself is keeping, and sometimes trying to keep, and sometimes keeping well, between being a man who has developed a really wonderful idea and a man who has also his own fears, which he brings to this. And the man who's teaching us has been able to afford himself to show some of the fears as he's teaching. If he wants to tap on something during a meeting, that we do that, and that's very nice. He is not a guru to me, neither is, I think somebody said today, is either a guru or a con artist. And what he is at the fundamental piece, most importantly, is a man. And I appreciate that he brings his humanness to this. It permeates the whole thing. And when I watch him, I like him best when I watch him working with somebody because he's right there. I may not like his accent, I may not like some of his humor, he spells terribly, his grammar is not always that good, but I will tell you that when he is with somebody, he is right there. And you can see it, it's great.
That's great. How do you see Faster EFT playing into your future?
Even this late in life, it is my calling. It is, as I was saying, the culmination of everything that I have taught myself and learned from as many other sources as I could. And now, and I'm very careful about using but or and this is the way that it's giving me a vehicle to deliberately talk with people and get and have their attention because they can heal themselves right then. We together can do it. Yeah, I am not the healer, but I sure as heck have a really nice protocol that can help them get there. And to empower somebody is huge because I had to find my own power first, right? And then let it go. And so there's a certain, it's a paradox of being very important and unimportant enough that I can just let it go out there. So because I'm steady enough in who's here now. It's really neat.
That's great. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Pleasure.